The deal with the devil has been sealed for Hangman Adam Page. Will he ever go for the championship again after Revolution? We're going to talk about all that and all things AEW on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast with me, your front man, as always, Adam Cousins. Now, we have just mentioned the deal with the devil. MJF and Adam Page signed their match for Revolution on Dynamite, but with a twist. Two twists, even. After a lot of toing and froing on Dynamite this week between and Hangman Adam Page, a few insults flying around here and there as well. Two deals are made. The stipulation and another stipulation. The match stipulation and the action stipulation. The match stipulation, to the surprise of nobody, is Texas Death Match. Hangman Adam Page, no stranger to Texas Death Matches, of course. But the stakes have been evened up really because the Texas Death Match would favor Hangman Adam Page. The stipulation for the loser of the match, or if Hangman Adam Page loses, similar to Cody Rhodes, if Hangman Adam Page loses the match, he can no longer wrestle for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's what went down on Dynamite between those two guys. And wow, I mean, talk about high stakes, high reward for Revolution in about a month's time, maybe just short of a month now before Revolution hits our screens. And wow, big time, big time, big time stakes for Revolution. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail near the end. Let's get in front of Dynamite though. Moxley and Mark Davis had a match this week, and Mox during this, it was an eliminator match, obviously a Continental title eliminator. Obviously, Moxley had gone to the time limit draw with Takeshita at Grand Slam Australia this past weekend, so retaining the Z Championship. I thought it was quite part of this match was great when Mark Davis went to punch Mox. I saw this. Fun enough, I saw the exact same thing on NWA on Tuesday with Thrill Billy and Latimer. Moxley was up against the post. Mark Davis has gone to punch him. Moxley's moved out of the way, and Mark Davis has punched the ring post. Looked brutal, by the way. Looked absolutely brutal in this. And then there was a gut wrench like power driver that Mark Davis done on this that actually looked like Mox was done, but it was a very last second kick out by Moxley on this. But fair enough, it was a good showcase match for Mark Davis. Again, I go back to what I said and I have been saying recently about eating too many pins. Obviously, it's a bit more of a different one with Davis this time because we don't know the direction. With Jake Doyle injured, we don't know where Mark Davis kind of fits in at the moment. So him eating a loss here, which he did when he got put to sleep by the Bulldog submission, I don't think hurts him because again, it's a where does he sit right now? That's kind of where we're looking at with Mark Davis right now. So I'm not quite sure where he sits in this, well, pool of talent that AEW have got. So a really strong showing from Davis, but he doesn't get a shot at the Continental Championship. And I feel as if anyway, I feel like we've got more to come with Moxley and Takeshita. So him beating Moxley wouldn't have made sense. Him eating some pinfalls again is not a bad thing on this. Not say lack of direction, but we just don't know where he fits right now in AEW. So we give him that one. We'll give him that. FTR and Young Bucks is confirmed for Revolution. Stokely Hathaway in a wheelchair. He eats a super kick during this, which was quite funny as well. But yeah, FTR and the Young Bucks again. We're never too tired of seeing that one of the two best tag teams in the world go at it again. They've had some great matches over the years in AEW, and once again they're gonna dust it all off come Revolution for those tag team championships. Will the Young Bucks win the championships again, or will the FTR keep proving why they are the best in the world? We'll wait and see. But he did mention about the Bucks shaking hands last week with the Rascals, and a line that I did like was "Everything's good when the Bucks are good." I did like that line. It should be a really good match though, come Revolution. I don't think there's any question of that for sure. We had Brody King come out. He basically congratulated MJF for weaseling out of another successful title defense, but he wants to re-enter the title picture and has issued the challenge for the biggest and the baddest on the February 25th episode, so next week's Dynamite. I suppose a kind of open challenge for Brody King, but the biggest and the baddest open challenge. There we go. We'll see what happens. Now, the match that was meant to, well, I thought this was a tag team championship match that was going to happen. I'm not sure if things changed, but it turned into a TBS championship match between a Fatal Four Way, Willow Nightingale, Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir, and Mina. I'm not going to try. um, First things first. I'm glad Megan Bayne is okay because GHC did she nearly break her neck doing it with Marina on the top rope doing a German suplex to her. She landed. I mean, we are talking millimeters from disaster for Megan Bayne. I'm so glad that she landed just about okay in this match. Oof, it was a scary one. It really, really was. This was okay. This match was fine. I'm pretty sure that I thought that Megan was in a tag championship match this week. I know that she had one this past weekend at a Grand Slam. I could have sworn. Unless Hardy Cameron's injured, that they had to change things up. Um, but again, I go back to the point I've been making about losing. She didn't take the pinfall on this, and thankfully, again, she's okay. She didn't take the pinfall, so it's not the end of the world for Megan Bayne in this. But again, it's another title opportunity that's fallen by the wayside. Megan Bayne has all the tools to be an absolute superstar in AEW. There's no doubt. She's got the look. She's powerful. She's got everything. She really does. But again, she didn't eat the pinfall in this one. The pinfall in this was actually Mina. Willow rolled Mina up after she was trying to put the figure four on her to get the victory here. But I just think, again, although Megan didn't lose the match, we got to be careful here. We got to be careful to protect her. Protected her enough because, again, she didn't eat the pinfall. Mina did. But I think there has to be a point where either she wins a championship the next time she faces it, or she doesn't go for one. Because you've got to protect that talent, especially a talent that you see can do massive things like Megan Bayne can do. You don't want to lose that whole, or you don't want to lose her credibility. This is what we said last week. We're echoing it this week. Got to be careful when it comes to, especially with Megan Bayne and championship opportunities. She's had a lot of them. She's not been successful yet. We got to be careful with her because she's a Megasaurus for a reason, and she's got every skill in her to become a dominant champion. So we just have to be very careful with that. Match itself was good. It was good enough. I mean, it weren't great. Was it the best women's match on AEW television? No. Was it the worst? No. So it was okay. Willow picks up the victory, retains the championship. Be all and end all. Really nice bit of class, by the way, with AEW. Remembering former WWE Kerwin's Seifels, I think his name was. Apologies if I got that wrong. He was basically teaching in TV production, Brian Danielson TV production. So very nice of AEW to add that nice little touch. we'll go back into now talk about MJF, Adam Page. Like I said, Hangman's done the deal with the devil here. The question is, who walks out of Revolution? I mean, Adam Page leaving it all alone. There's a few little rumors going around, excuse me, that Hangman Adam Page may be leaving AEW. I don't believe those rumors, by the way. I'm just skirting around and because this is a big one because you wouldn't think Hangman Adam Page would lose this match because it means he can never face for the AEW World Championship again. But for him not to lose the match, MJF needs to drop the championship. And are we ready for that yet? So it's a really intriguing one here. And that's what I'm sure Hangman Adam Page has got plenty of time left on his contract anyway. But it's an interesting development, the one that I was not expecting, come right out of left field for me, this one. So yeah, really interesting. What do you guys think? Who's walking out of Revolution with the championship? It's Texas Deathmatch, of course, at the same time. So oof, it's going to be a one hell of an opportunity for either MJF to retain and put Adam Page out of the world title picture for good, or Adam Page wins it. But is there an ulterior motive here? Are we not seeing? Again, I don't know. I said I'd get the contract, I think, situation up. I haven't got it. I'll get it for the. No, I said I'd get it for this week in wrestling with David this week, and I will do. Um, yeah, very interesting times on this one. And yeah, I don't know. Interesting, 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 interesting. Moxley was back with the Death Riders and Pack and challenges the Don Callis family to gather themselves for Collision this Saturday. And the Death Riders won't be hard to find, but Moxley also challenges Takeshita to face him in a no time limit match at Revolution. In my opinion, new champion come Revolution, Konosuke Takeshita. That's my opinion. Could that be finally when Moxley gets kicked out? Is the Continental Championship the only thing keeping John Moxley in the Death Riders? There you go. There's another one for you. There's another one for you, Dave, this week. The list is growing for this week. So interesting on that one. All right. The conglomeration this week wasn't as Average Cassidy and Roderick Strong. As you all know, Roderick Strong walked away. Didn't really get anything extra from Strong this week on that, actually. I was quite surprised. But nevertheless, Orange Cassidy did say that the conglomeration have many people in there. And one of them was Tomohiro Ishii. Haven't seen him in a while. They took on Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors, the dogs now, as they're called. Not the war dogs, but the dogs in AEW. Ishii and Cassidy are the complete opposites. Cassidy's here to entertain. Ishii's here to kick your head in, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I was a bit worried about the Pitbull at the end of the match, the Stone Pitbull, because he seemed to collapse at the end of this match, like he was out. Like, I'm hoping that listen, he's a absolute, war dog, really. I don't know, the war dogs are a Bullet Club thing, but were a Bullet Club thing. And I'm just hoping that this isn't the start of the end for Ishii because he looks spent. He was out of it, at the end of this. And the fact that he can still perform at the level that he does is incredible. And anyway, he got the victory over Clark Connors with the Brain Buster. Haven't seen that well. I haven't seen it as a finish in a while. Haven't seen a Kid Lycos match in a while, obviously. But Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd on the losing. I said, what's happening with Gabe Kidd now? Because he was a Death Rider a little while ago. Are we now seeing the formation of the dogs in AEW? We know Driller Mahoney has re-signed with New Japan, so he stays where he is currently, so he's not going anywhere. But that doesn't mean to say he won't show up in AEW. That's a good thing about their relationship. He was at the AEW Forbidden Door last year. So plenty of opportunity for Driller to come and cross the line over to AEW. Um, Again, I think Clark Connors is just settling in, but we're talking about people eating losses again. And it was him again that took the pin. I like Clark Connors as well. I think he's got a good. I think he's very, very solid in the ring. He brings something nice to AEW. I just think again, got to be careful with the win-loss thing. I don't know. I keep bringing it up, and you're probably sick of it, but just got to be careful. Just got to be careful with that. Um, I like they went backstage to the Don Callis family, and they're just kicking the shit out of people. Basically, I really loved it. Josh Alexander had a guy in an ankle lock, and he was talking shit, and you know, uh, uh, Callis has always come out and said that Takeshita is not AEW. He's celebrating with Fletcher. Okada then appears and says, he called himself Fletcher's best friend, but he said he could have been celebrating as well. But unlike Takeshita, he's a champion that turns up to work. And then, and Delade El Idolo enters as well and says his eyes are on the world championship. But he also teased, or Don Callis also teased a match between Andrade and Claudio Castagnoli for the CMLL championship. I'll be happy for that. Take my money. But again, we see more of the Okada Takeshita bubbling under the surface nicely here. We know it's going to happen. It's a bit like the Death Riders, right? We know Moxley's going to get kicked out. We know Okada and Takeshita are on a collision course. It's a matter of when. This is what AEW, this is what I'm liking about AEW in a minute. They've got so much stuff bubbling away. And it's nice because he's not rushing it. It's a good. They're waiting and waiting it out. They're not, excuse me, not waiting it out too long, hopefully, so it gets boring. We thought the Death Riders were getting boring, but they're now kind of, we can see the seeds are being planted. So we're like, oh, I know sometimes the fans are very sort of, come on. Sometimes you've got to take your time, but not too long, if that makes sense. Same with Okada and Takeshita. We've been expecting it for a while. Not quite there yet, but coming. And it's great. It's really, really good from AEW. I hope they don't happen at the same time. That's my only thing about it. Space them out between the two. The Ops. Samoa Joe out injured, of course. Hopefully he's all okay and we get better soon. A new leader, Hook. And they're on a recruitment drive, both domestically in the States and internationally in Japan. Hook is handling the business from this side, the domestic, not this side, the domestic side in America, and Shibata is out handling the international bit in Japan. So we're going to see more members of the Ops very, very soon. Now we get to the AEW version of the Brawling Brutes, in this case, the Brawling Birds. Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter against Becca, or I don't know, it was B3 CCA, and Viva Van. And yeah, I mean, they just annihilated them, basically. The Brawling Birds. So it was, they're great. They got like the heart attack finisher. It's a little bit like the Bret Hart, Jimmy Amble Night Heart finisher from the Hart Foundation. I like this. Really did. Not necessarily like the match, but I'm liking the partnership. Generally, with partnerships, we know that they end up splitting up and they go, and we end up having a Jamie Hayter wins a feud. But I think they're gonna. My view is that they will go for the women's tag team championship first, probably win them. When they get to the point that they drop it, they will start the feud to get against each other, and I'm all here for that. I really am all here for that. Another woman that is back in AEW, Thunder Rosa. She is cleared to wrestle, but she's after Fekler. Statlander's after Fekler as well. So obviously Fekler now the new champion after the strap match last week. So interesting times in that division. Do you know what? And this is not being horrible to Thunder Rosa. I totally forgot about that she was. I thought she had kind of quietly retired, to be honest with you. And again, no, that's not me being horrible to her. I just, to be honest, there was so much going on. I totally forgot my mind about that. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe a triple threat there. Maybe a one-on-one between Statlander and Thunder Rosa with the winner taking on Fekler. Maybe all good for me. The more, the merrier. The more, the merrier. Listen, if the recruitment drive, we got to talk. There was one. There was one. There was actually a damn acquisition that I forgot to talk about during Grand Slam. And it's not one but two women are back, or not back, but are now all elite. That is the iconics or the inspiration from former WWE star Peyton Royce and Cassie Lee and Billy McKay. They're all elite. The ever growing list of people that are all elite in AEW and the Iconics. Congratulations to you. Can't wait to see you in AEW. They've done a house rule show over in Australia last week, and can't wait. Can't wait to have you on board the All Elite train. But Jesus Christ, are these rosters? I mean, crumbs. It's uh, we haven't seen Ace Austin in ages. Well, I can't remember the last time. I mean, a week or two ago we saw Ace Austin. I mean, this, geez. Anyway, congratulations to the inspiration, the Iconics. Looking forward to seeing you in AEW television. Another two that we hadn't seen in a while, Kevin Knight and the Beast Mortos, went together in this, and the UFO splash from Kevin Knight picked up the victory on this, and he's got a great future, by the way. And Beast Mort, this was kind of like I don't know, a battle of the uprising stars of AEW, shall we say. Mortos is definitely one of the most promising stars as well. This was match of the night so far. Anyway, these two really enjoyed this match. Said Kevin Knight picking up the victory, but again, like I mentioned with the rosters, we go week on week. You may not see them again for another couple of weeks. This is where we've got to start fine tuning a little bit, I think, with the roster situation. We'll talk to Dave about this on uh, on Sunday and see where he sits. Another great Osprey package, though. Always good to see. Congratulations to Will Ospreay as well and Dan Reed at Pro Wrestling E for selling out the big women's show on International Women's Day, March the 8th. Unfortunately, we won't be there. I'm flying off to see family on that day, as it happens. So I'm going to be missing that, unfortunately. But you guys girls are going to call you girls, really are going to kill it. But congratulations to you all for selling that show out. Right. Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland. I think that's all we need to say, really, isn't it? That was this was brutal. This match was brutal. Aubrey Edwards ends up gets a V trigger during this. Kenny Omega got a vertebrator off the stairs and through the table, for Christ's sake. It was crazy. It was absolutely mad. And that was after the match, by the way. We'll get into that. Swerve hit the house call, followed by the front row ace crusher for the victory. But it was all about what happened after. Swerve Strickland snaps. He takes Kenny Omega out. He hits that vertebrae, like I said, through the table. He's hitting him with a chain as well. It was an overrun, this was as well for Dynamite. But Swerve Strickland back to full-fledged heel. And, interesting though. Could. Now, here we go. We're talking potentially about things that could happen and the MJF Adam Page match. Swerve Strickland costs Adam Page the World Heavyweight Championship, and he can never go for the World Heavyweight Championship again. Swerve Strickland gets the ultimate revenge on Hangman Adam Page. Swerve Strickland and Kenny Omega, though, was an unbelievable match. Like I said, you just needed to say it. You knew what you were going to get, and AEW delivers again. And we've got a lot more things this week on AEW. Again, some really good building on this for AEW. We're getting lots of stuff bubbling away nicely as well, which I'm really looking forward to going forward in the future. But in terms of AEW, we'll be back on at the weekend. Myself and David returns for the week in wrestling. We'll talk a bit more about the stuff that happened in AEW and everywhere else this coming weekend. But coming up on the channel, obviously TNA hits you tomorrow, hits you like a smack in the face. We got a guitar case casket match to get through tomorrow. So we'll see you then. But until then, everybody, stay elite, stay safe, and goodbye.